1970 wasn't just the start of a new decade. It was a turning point for R&B. Soul music was stretching out, longer grooves, deeper lyrics, and records that didn't just entertain. They testified. Some of these songs topped charts, some crossed over to pop radio, and some quietly reshaped the sound of modern music without ever being fully credited for it. These aren't just hits. These are moments, captured on tape, pressed to vinyl, and still echoing today. Let's start where the decade truly found its voice. 12 Never Too Much, Luther Vandross, 1981. This song closed the era and opened another. Luther Vandross blended classic soul discipline with modern production, creating a groove that felt effortless and joyful. Breath. It didn't push. It flowed. Pause. And with it, a new generation of R&B was born. Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye. Note: if you prefer strict no repeat artists, this can be replaced. Flag it. And I'll swap immediately. Written in exile, recorded under tension. Sexual Healing saved Marvin Gaye's career. Breath synths replaced strings. Rhythm replaced chaos. Pause. It wasn't just healing for listeners. It was survival, set to music. Don't stop till you get enough. Michael Jackson, 1979. This was reinvention. On wax, Michael Jackson stepped out of the Jackson 5 shadow and announced a new era. With a falsetto-driven groove that refused to sit still. Breath. The rhythm pulsed. The vocals soared. The confidence was unmistakable. Pause. This wasn't just a hit. It was a statement of independence. Nine Between the Sheets, Isley Brothers, 1979. This song rewrote intimacy. Synth-heavy, minimal, and unapologetically smooth. Between the Sheets sounded like the future arriving early. Breath. It became one of the most sampled R&B records in history, not because of nostalgia, but because its structure was perfect. Pause. It didn't age. It set the standard. You know that I'm living. 8 Low Rider, War, 1975. All my friends know the Low Rider. This one didn't need explanation. Low Rider wasn't just a song.
A city called Olathe, Kansas. To the beat.
It was a scene. Breath. The harmonica. The groove. The slang. It captured West Coast street culture without judgment or caricature. Pause. It became a cultural identifier, sampled endlessly, licensed everywhere, and instantly recognizable from the first note. Seven Lady, Stylistics, 1975. A miracle came my way. Lady wasn't written to be trendy. It was written to be timeless. Falsetto vocals floated over orchestration that felt cinematic rather than commercial. Breath. And if you could hear me pray. The song didn't chase radio, it glided into it. Pause. It became a defining slow jam of the mid-70s, proving that softness could still dominate a loud decade.
Your warm embrace, I knew how.
Six Feel Like Making Love, Roberta Flack, 1974. This song feels like silence, filled in. Roberta Flack sang Feel Like Making Love with restraint so deep it bordered on vulnerability. Breath. There's space between the notes, space between the words, and that space is where the emotion lives. Pause. It topped charts not because it demanded attention, but because it trusted the listener to lean in. Five Rock Your Baby, George McCrae, 1974. This record accidentally changed music history. Rock Your Baby wasn't planned as a disco anthem. It used a drum machine simply because the band wasn't available. Breath.
Come on.
That mechanical rhythm, paired with silky vocals, created a sound radio had never heard before. Short pause. The result, one of the first true disco crossover hits, paving the way for an entire movement. Sometimes revolutions don't announce themselves. They just start playing. For Me and Mrs. Jones, Billy Paul, 1972.
We got a thing.
This wasn't a love song. It was a confession. Me and Mrs. Jones told a story radio usually avoided. Two people meeting in secret.
Holding hands.
Fully aware they were crossing a line. Breath. What made it shocking wasn't the subject. It was the calmness.
But it's much too strong to...
Billy Paul sang it without guilt, without apology. Just quiet acceptance. Pause.
Mrs. Jones.
Backed by lush Philadelphia strings, the song became a massive crossover hit, proving that adult themes, when handled with honesty, could still dominate mainstream radio. It didn't scandalize, it normalized. Three Lean on Me, Bill Withers, 1972. Bill Withers didn't write hits. He wrote human instructions. Lean on Me came from memories of growing up in a small West Virginia mining town where community wasn't optional. It was survival. Breath. The melody is deceptively simple, almost childlike, but that simplicity made it universal. No vocal tricks. No dramatic build-up, just a promise, sung plainly. Short pause. The song crossed every boundary. Race.
You need a hand. We all need some.
Genre. Generation. And unlike most chart toppers, it never felt tied to a moment. It felt permanent. Two If You Don't Know Me By Now, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
You should understand me like I
1972. This song didn't shout. It waited, recorded during the rise of Philadelphia soul. If You Don't Know Me By Now was built around restraint, soft piano, patient strings, and a vocal that sounded emotionally exhausted.
Just get yourself together.
Rather than dramatic. Breath. What made it unforgettable was the tension. Teddy Pendergrass didn't sing like he was trying to convince you. He sang like he was done explaining himself. Pause. It became an anthem for long relationships, quiet resentment, and emotional honesty.
Like I trust in you. As long as we've been.
Decades later, it would be covered and reinterpreted, but the original remains unmatched. Because heartbreak doesn't always scream. Sometimes, it just states the truth.
Love affair. When we can't see eye to eye.
One Let's Get It On. Marvin Gaye, 1973.
Sugar, let's get on.
This wasn't supposed to be a love song. Originally, Marvin Gaye was writing an album about spiritual healing and social unity.
Baby, no. Ain't giving you.
But somewhere between the demos and the studio sessions, the music took over, and Let's Get It On became something far more intimate. Breath built on a slow, gospel-rooted groove, the song blurred the line between sacred and sensual. Gaye's vocal delivery, half sermon, half whisper, made it feel personal, almost intrusive, like you weren't supposed to be hearing it. Short pause. Radio stations hesitated. But audiences didn't. The record became one of the biggest R&B crossovers of the decade, cementing Marvin Gaye's transformation from protest singer
Baby, this evening, say we could get it on.
to emotional architect of modern soul. And once it hit, there was no going back.
Baby, get it on.
Looking back now, it's easy to understand why these songs stayed with us. They weren't trying to scare anyone. They were just telling the truth, sometimes too honestly. Pause. As kids, we didn't have the words for what we were hearing, but we felt it. The tension, the sadness, the unease, short breath. These records played in the background of our childhoods, quietly shaping how we understood the world, long before we were ready. And that's why they still linger. Not as nightmares, but as memories. If any of these songs unsettled you growing up, share your story in the comments. And if this brought something back, make sure to subscribe, because there are plenty more songs the radio probably shouldn't have played around kids.